Hello, everyone. I'm Allison, your educator at Beyond Miracles. And in today's webinar, we are going to be talking about the differences between Cellstory liquid microneedling and traditional microneedling. It's one of the most frequently asked questions and topics of conversation when I am doing training calls. So let's just dive right into it. So, for a really long time, we know that when we are talking about cellular repair and fixing issues that our clients are bringing to us, traditional microneedling has been our go to. But just like everything else in our industry, we have advancements and other options at our disposal. And I'm so excited that we have Cellstory to be able to address those same issues that we have been for years with traditional microneedling, but in a little bit of a different way. And of course, powered by the force that is Korean skincare science and technology. They are always ahead of the game, above the cuff, and they have really great products, ingredients, and systems available to us to achieve these types of results without going into the usual program of traditional microneedling, which can have some downsides as everything does. So we are going to dive into exactly what those differences are so that you can make the best choice for your clients. So, first off, we are going to talk about skin wounding. So, Cellstory lives in the same realm as traditional microneedling in that it is intentional wounding of the skin or collagen induction therapy. And just by the nature of that intentional wounding of the skin, we are causing that reaction from our body that will rush specialized cells to the area where it suspects there is an injury or an intruder, and it will create collagen and elastin and send to the area what is needed to refurbish and enhance that area. So we are in the same category per se in those terms, but Cellstory is going to be a more progressive rather than aggressive approach, meaning that I feel personally like sometimes microneedling comes in like a wrecking ball, right? There's no discernment for healthy tissue, meaning that we just go over the whole face. And why should we bring this damage to healthy cells in an effort to get to the cells that do need the therapy? So, with Cellstory, there's never any damage to healthy tissue. It will just enhance what is already present and fix what needs fixing. So it doesn't discriminate. It just goes in and finds the weakness in the skin, whether that is a weakness in collagen, which looks like a line or a wrinkle to us, a cluster of melanocytes, which looks like pigmentation to us, acne, junk that's in the skin that doesn't belong there. It will purge that out and help to replenish and fix what's wrong within the skin. So that is one of the main differences too. We are removing the risks that are sometimes associated with traditional microneedling, like increased pigmentation, dark spots, damaging of tissue that wasn't damaged before, just due to the needling. So that is the progressive rather than aggressive approach with no damage to healthy tissue. Also, Cellstory is a curated system. It's an 8-step system that from cleanser all the way to the finishing cream is made to work synergistically with the next step in the system. And all steps within inside the system are full of really fantastic ingredients that we'll talk more about as well. This is also going to be a really great treatment for your clients or patients that don't like needles. Not everybody is into needles, and the thought of doing any type of therapy that contains actual needles can be a put off for some clients. So with Cellstory, there is no needles, just the spicules inside the treatment. So the mechanism of action, we started to talk about this a little bit in the last slide, but Obviously, the spicules are going into the skin and giving us that intentional wounding of the skin and giving us that collagen induction therapy and that response that we're looking for from the skin. The spicules are inserted directly into the skin using our hands. It's a manual insertion. There is no need to decide on the needle depth or how hard to push. There's no user error associated with Cellstory. You really can't do it wrong. We do have some tips and tricks on application that you've heard from me before, but there really is no wrong way to do it. Whereas in traditional microneedling, a lot can rest in the hands of the user and as well as user error that can make things go wrong. There's no way, nothing to think about as far as like angle, depth, pressure with Cellstory. It's all automatic. You just push it into the skin with your hands and it does the work for you. Let's also take this opportunity to talk about in traditional microneedling, what I like to call mechanical drag or possible skin tearing. So we know that in traditional microneedling, the needles are coming in and out of the tip on the pen or the gun, whichever we're using, going into the skin, whichever depth that we have set, and coming out at a very fast pace. We can't see it happening a lot of times with the naked eye, but we feel that vibration of the needles going in and out of the top of the pen. So what if while the needles are inserted into the skin, I move left or right? We do have the risk of some mechanical drag or skin tearing or pulling of the pores if you are moving left or right. General traditional procedure will tell us to apply something slippery to the skin or a treatment serum to the skin and glide the pen, usually in a crosshatch motion, one way and then the other. The number of passes, again, is up to the user and after their analysis of the skin, what is needed. But we have little control over that possibility of mechanical drag or skin tearing because we're not looking at what we're doing underneath a microscope and making precise movements. Some of that risk is removed if we move to a stamping technique rather than a glide or a drag technique, just to say about traditional. But the mechanism of action, there is no user error with Cellstory. You just push it in, it does the work for you. So depth. Depth is important as well. So in Cellstory, the spicules in step 5 of our treatment are lab perfected to be the perfect length, width, size, and shape to sit directly into the basal layer of the epidermis. So there's never any risk of blood. We are never going to disturb or puncture the dermal epidermal junction. So you will not have pinpoint bleeding or bleeding of any kind with Cellstory. It only works in the epidermis. You can't push it too far. In traditional microneedling, the user decides the depth on the side of the pen, whichever depth you put it to. Most oftentimes, we are looking for blood as an indicator of if the treatment is working to the depth that we want it to work to. And we also run the risk of possible barrier disruption or an adverse inflammatory reaction with traditional microneedling. Anytime we penetrate into the dermis, we do raise the risk of those adverse types of reactions and side effects, like we mentioned before, the pigmentation or a breakout or a lesion of some sort. So with Cellstory, the depth is already thought out for you. You don't have to do anything extra, and it is lab perfected to go right to the spot where we need it to go. So device. With Cellstory, there's no device versus traditional microneedling, which often includes the purchase of a quite expensive device to begin with. So we don't have an expensive device with Cellstory. We do not have any consumables that need to be replaced for said device. It is an all-inclusive system. Everything that you need is in the box from the cleanser all the way through to the last step. You don't need to add anything else. You don't need any other back bar, nothing. It's all included. And our spicules are already coated in what I like to call the goodies, the good stuff. So we are talking about 20 different cell amino acids, 3 different types of epidermal growth factors, our yellow common complex, which is a collection of Korean botanicals that keep the skin cool, calm, and collected while the spicules are doing their thing. Also, I like to call them the antis, these botanicals. They're anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. So they just keep the skin calm. And while we're pushing those spicules into the skin with our hands without a device, we are delivering all of that goodness to the skin at the same time. So no need for an expensive device, no consumables, no other products necessary that we need to decide what to use on the skin with. A traditional pen, and no slipper application product extra needed with Cellstory. It's all included there for you. So the application products too here, like I was saying in the last slide, everything is included in the box. You see in this photo here on the slide, all the ingredients for the treatment taken out of the box and laid out in this pretty picture here. But everything is there for you in a streamlined, synergistic system. We find all those goodies, like I said, in every step of the system, from the cleanser all the way through to the recovery cream. We see a repeat of those really great ingredients because we know that each step of this treatment is going to hit at a different layer of the skin, and we want to just keep delivering and pounding those ingredients into the skin because why not? They're fantastic ingredients. So all of that coupled with the spicules that are harvested from freshwater lab-grown sponges, then put through a 13-time purification process, and then coated in all of the goodness as well, while we're giving a free ride into the skin, all of these other ingredients that are in every step of the treatment just makes for a really great system, streamlined from start to finish. Everything is pre-packed into these little packets, so it's pre-portioned for you. It is the exact amount that you need in each step of the treatment. There's no wasted product. There's no over pumping. There's no misuse, using too much, using too little. Everything is nice and neat, makes my setup nice and neat on the tray, keeps it clean, hygienic in the treatment room as well. So all of your products for application are included right here in the box. You don't need any other back bar. It's not up to you to build the system or make the choices about the other products that you'll be using in the treatment because it's already included in the box for you. So the scope of practice is another huge bonus for Cellstory because it only works in the epidermis, right? And it is in scope for all estheticians in the United States. We always say to check your local laws and check with your local state board for further information. But traditional microneedling does not have a place in a lot of treatment rooms for estheticians like myself who are solo practitioners. Even in my own state, it is out of scope for solo estheticians that are not within a medical spa or under the direct supervision of a supervising physician. So for a really long time, us solo estheticians have had to send our clients to the med spa for this type of cellular therapy. Now we have something in our own treatment room that addresses these issues for the clients at that cellular level, and we are within scope of practice to perform it. So that is fantastic and exciting. Treatment frequency is another big difference here between Cellstory and traditional. So you can do Cellstory on a weekly basis for as long as you see fit. There are no harsh ingredients or nothing in this system that is going to damage the skin. And in fact, my attack plan, if you've done training with me before, you've heard me say that. If we are trying to take down inflammation, get rid of acne, purge something from the skin, a client comes in and says, my grandson's getting married in 2 months. What do you have for me? You do Cellstory once a week for 4 weeks in a row and reassess at the end of that month. At the end of the month, you can choose to continue Cellstory or move into other therapies as you see fit, or start to pair Cellstory with other therapies as well. Plays really well with everything you have in the treatment room. But the fact that I can complete 4 Cellstory treatments within one cellular cycle of the skin, 21 to 28 days, as women especially, we are very familiar with cycles on a monthly basis. So the fact that I can fit 4 complete cell story treatments into one cellular cycle of the skin really brings the results, because before that acne has a chance to flare back up, or that pigmentation has a chance to redarken or resurface, I can go in and hit it with another treatment in the next week. If you know anything about traditional microneedling, you know that we would never in any dream world consider doing a traditional microneedling treatment once a week for 4 weeks in a row. We would completely ruin somebody's skin. So usually once a month at a minimum, sometimes longer, depending on your assessment of the client's skin for traditional. And then that wait time in between the traditional microneedling gives the skin a chance to produce more of what we don't want to see. And it also extends the overall timing before your client will see results in between treatments. So that treatment frequency is another really big difference between the two. So acne. So I always say that if Cellstory had no other purpose for me in the treatment room besides clearing acne and taking down inflammation, it is well worth it for me to keep a box. This is huge too. And while the science is changing and the opinions are changing, especially most recently at the time of me recording this video about when and if and how you can use traditional microneedling over active acne, most of the time, it is recommended to clear the acne breakout or clear the active breakout before use. So, as a holistic acne specialist, also a medical esthetician, I know all of the tips and tricks on how to holistically clear acne. And the real truth is that clients don't want to hear it. No one wants to discuss diet, exercise, nutrition, supplementation, stress management, chemicals in the home, redoing their entire skin regimen, all of the things that are good and sound advice for getting rid of acne. People who are suffering with acne want it gone off their skin, and they want it gone quickly. So, what an amazing thing to have a treatment like Cellstory in my treatment room that takes down inflammation and purges acne quickly. When I first started with Cellstory, I did a model call. I wanted models that had adult acne, that have tried everything, that are already living the clean lifestyle, doing all the holistic tips and tricks. I asked for those people and I got them. And I have cleared that acne within 2 treatments of Cellstory, to the point where I had to call the clients and say, hey, you promised to come back. And they forgot because their skin was already clear. So if for no other reason, I have Cellstory in my treatment room for my acne clients. The best thing about it too is that clients are not just concerned with the active acne, although that's the most important. They're also worried about the pigmentation and the spots and the uneven skin tone and texture. They're already asking questions about how to get rid of that even before the acne is gone. So the best part is that Cellstory works on the side effects of the acne at the same time as clearing it. So you can see from this photo that I've included in the slide, this is one Cellstory, one treatment only, 3 days after is the after photo sent in by one of our fantastic estheticians. So you can see how much the inflammation has been taken down just in a couple of days after one Cellstory treatment, which is so, so, so impressive. So I really highly encourage you to make this part of your acne program as well. Client comfort is going to be huge too, right? So traditional microneedling can often feel sterile and clinical. There's definitely needles involved. There's definitely recovery time involved. Like you might need to take a couple of days off of work or plan to stay in your house for the weekend, depending on the severity of the treatment that is performed. You definitely have downtime. So with Cellstory, we have those soothing, calming, and hydrating ingredients already included in every step of the system. It is nature-based in theory. We don't have any needles. We don't have any recovery or downtime with excessive peeling or redness or anything scary that's going to be happening to the client's face. We have a 3-day post-healing period where a little bit of prickly sensation or pink cheeks can still be present. But I have had clients that hop off the table, throw on their sunglasses, go pick up their kids from school, go to lunch with a friend. This is really not the downtime that we are used to with traditional microneedling treatments. There's an easy to follow aftercare program that we give our clients as part of the aftercare kit after those 3 days have passed and all of the feeling of prickliness has subsided from the treatment. Your clients are free to return to their regularly scheduled skincare regimens. We also do not use numbing cream with the clients, which could seem like it's an opposite for client comfort, but the application of numbing cream adds, 45 minutes, sometimes up to an hour to your treatment time that the client has to sit with the numbing cream before the treatment actually takes place in traditional terms. So we don't use numbing cream. It's not needed. It's not necessary. The insertion of the spicules in step 5 into the skin has a very manageable pain level for most clients. It feels prickly, sort of like a rough sandpapering is what I like to say. Usually lasts about 30 seconds to a minute to get all of that into the skin, and then that part of the treatment is over, and we are soothing and calming the skin for the rest of the treatment with all of those fantastic ingredients. So, client comfort both at the treatment time as well as following up and in between treatments. Cellstory is a clear winner here in this category. We also have specific support. So, like I've been saying the whole time, Cellstory is a system, right? And everything you need comes right out of the box for the treatment proper. However, we do also have our full line of Miracle Tox products, which you can see on this beautiful tray here in the photo. So you can also prescribe the Miracle Tox products to your clients in between. And the Miracle Tox products share a lot of the same ingredients as the Cellstory products do. So your clients are able to easily maintain their results in between treatments, enhance their results even further by using it at home. It is one intact system under the umbrella of Beyond Miracles. So it's really great to have that support regimen available. It's easy for the clients to use. It is skincare Korean skincare simplified, right? Because the Korean skincare world is often really too large for a lot of us to understand, especially our clients. So this brings it down into an easy to use system with this in between care there for you, as well as the at home spicule treatment that can keep up your clients' results. So I highly recommend that you dive into the world of Miracle Tox too. So we don't need to search out your different education from different people. So we know that there are lots of products on the market that will say they can be microneedled into the skin. And it is our job as the esthetician to do the specific training and separate training for each of those products, as well as the separate training for our device or whatever that we're using. They're all separate entities, and it's up to us to bring it all together to craft a treatment. And some of us really like to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But we don't need any other back bar. You don't need to go to 10 different places to get your education for how to put the treatment together. We have ongoing education here at Beyond Miracles with Cellstory and Miracle Talks, with me, with our webinars, with our online training and certification program. Everything is built there for you. So it's easy to use. It's all in one place, and it already works together and has been put together perfectly by our lab partners to work that way. So it sort of takes all the extra thought out of it, and it works really great. So we don't have to do anything extra. So it's very specific and supportive. So the breakdown here is that Cellstory is definitely a more progressive rather than aggressive approach to getting the same type of results that we get with traditional microneedling. Our comprehensive system, top tier ingredients, and the Korean style ritualistic approach to skin health, rejuvenation, keeping the skin in that constant state of cell turnover. It just is a program that works for our clients because it brings the results. They're seeing the results after each treatment, and even better results when they do it in a package or a series. And it works really well for us as pros because everything is inclusive, put together beautifully and thoughtfully. And again, the results that come for our clients is the best feeling in the whole world to be able to help somebody change their skin. So, progressive collagen induction therapy, safe from unnecessary damage, an all inclusive system with ongoing support and education, long term solutions for a healthy approach to our skin and keeping it healthy and vibrant, and an easy to use. Couldn't be easier to use. So I love that for us as pros, and I love that for our clients as well. So hopefully this helps to clear up some of the major differences between Cellstory and traditional microneedling. We are always here for you at Beyond Miracles. You have direct access to me, Allison, your educator, whenever you need us. We also have Gina, our customer success manager, on hand to help with any issues that you may have. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing you in the next webinar. Thanks so much. Bye.